Yeah, me too, because there were so many really good questions about serious issues that face kids. Sexual harassment in college campuses. Can she manage the $1 trillion student loan program? Why does she, own a college refinancing company? And why does she own a for-profit K through 12 online charter school? Why won't she commit to the fact that she is there to voucherize and privatize our public schools, take that tranche of money that is derived partially from federal government money, mostly from property taxes collected in the area? Why she is there? She is there to take that money and divert that money to her private voucher schemes for private schools only that do not fall under the Americans with Disabilities provisions that say that all comers and any student that shows up in a public school will be educated in a manner that helps them learn, that grows their intellect, that helps them become a graduate. This woman has ulterior motives on your kids and on this tranche of money. There is no question in my mind that is why she is doing all this and has always been doing all this. And I know that she has not been successful in what she's done in Detroit. Yesterday, we spent a long time reading you a Detroit Free Press article that was written by Stephen Henderson after a 1-year-long investigation into her private school, her defunding of the Detroit public schools in favor of private schools that underserve the poorest kids that are. They asked her about Detroit. That came up too. What about Detroit? Why is it such a miserable failure? Basically, you know what her answer was? They're poor kids. They're just poor. She said there used to be 1.5 million people living in Detroit, and now there's only like 695,000. And so the ones who had means, she actually said this, the ones who have means, they left. And so all you have there are very poor kids. She was the architect of Detroit's charter school system. She is responsible for what charter school advocates acknowledge is the biggest school reform disaster in the country. So why would you take somebody like this and put them in charge of the entire Department of Education? Well, let's harken back to the debates where Rick Perry had his whoops moment. And of course, the Department of Education, the EPA, and whoops, one other, was one of the ones that they want to get rid of. They would love to have access to all this money, and they would love to divert it to their own pet companies, to their own interests, to their own personal little craw. Now, you do have people who are pro-charter school, and that's fine. That's fine. Let parents pay for those kids to go to charter school. Just like in my old neighborhood, and we had some callers yesterday who were outraged that they want to siphon off the money from our public schools so their kids can go to private schools instead of what used to happen and what still should happen and what does happen with most parents. And that is that if you want your kid to go to a parochial school, a religious school, a tech school, a specialized school, a military academy, for God's sake, then you pay for it. You pay for it. Nobody is against, parents getting to choose that they don't want their kids going to a public school. But, whenever she's given a school choice as an option to parents, the parents opt for them to get out of the Detroit metro and go to the suburbs. And they sit on a bus for 2 hours. And then the parents at the suburb school move their kids. They take the public school money that makes that school successful, and they take it out of that public school and they move their kids to a charter school. It's an endless vortex of failure that she is for.